Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Khushi Bisht, PR and Media Relations Executive at TAB Group. This year marks a significant milestone for us with the 10th edition of Africa Agri Expo, the Jubilee edition, alongside the 3rd edition of Future Food, Livestock and Poultry Expo, going to happen in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania on the 2nd and 3rd of September, bringing together the key stakeholders from across agriculture, livestock and poultry value chain. So, for today's interview, as part of our interview series, I'm pleased to be joined by Geofrey, the Executive Director of Rice Council of Tanzania. And Geofrey, it's a pleasure to have Rice Council of Tanzania as our supporting partner for our event. So, welcome, Geofrey. How are you feeling?
Fine, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to this interview. I'm delighted speaking to you. You're most welcome. Yeah, I'm quite fine and ready for this good interview. You are most welcome.
Wonderful, Geoffrey. So let's quickly dive into the questions. So, Geoffrey, to begin with, my first question for you is from your perspective, how is the rice sector in Tanzania is evolving in terms of production, productivity, and market demand over the past few years?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. Frankly speaking, we are delighted seeing the rice sector in Tanzania growing rapidly. The production is increasing every year, although we are also faced with the climate change, the variability in production from year to year normally happen. However, the upward increasing trend of the rice production in Tanzania is being witnessed. Remember, we moved from being net importer in the past years to net exporter recently, and now the share of the surplus is increasing every year. Even in bad years, we normally have this exportable surplus. That's what we can say on that. However, that production is divided into two parts of the production system. We have the rain-fed, where farmers are depending on the rainfall to produce rice, which is almost 90% of the total rice produced in Tanzania is coming from that portion. And the other one is from the irrigation schemes. We have irrigation schemes that are used by farmers to produce rice. And if you look at the productivity aspect, then we are witnessing the average low productivity, which is around 3 metric tons per hectare, which is very small. But that's an average. That's an average of the total average rice productivity in Tanzania. However, if we go to the rain-fed specifically, we find that the productivity is as low as 1.6 metric tons per hectare to 2, which is very low. But contrary, on the other side, now in the irrigation schemes, we are witnessing the increasing productivity level, where we can see up to 6 to 8 tons per hectare. The difference is coming from the varieties and the agronomic practices that is being employed in those two areas. If I can stop there and then invite the sub questions from that main question, that could be okay, or you allow me to proceed.
No, that's absolutely okay. That's absolutely fine. And in fact, that's really insightful, Geoffrey. And you mentioned about the farmers. So, building on to that, what are the key challenges currently faced by the rice farmers and stakeholders across the value chain? And how is the Rice Council of Tanzania is addressing them?
Yes, of course, the first challenge is the low productivity. Yeah,
Mm.
as you have heard from that perspective,
Mm.
we are seeing that the Tanzanian farmers are facing low productivity, so the cost of production is very high in that
Mm.
perspective. But the majority of the farmers are using traditional seeds,
Okay.
not improved varieties, and that is associated with a lot of things, a lot of factors: low productivity, susceptibility to climate change, and the diseases. But uh, another problem is the non-picking paddy seed business. We
Mm.
are not having good paddy seed business in Tanzania.
Mm.
You produce seeds, you can't sell because farmers are relying on their supplies. That's a great challenge we are facing currently.
Mm.
And then the price volatility. Yeah, prices are not that much stable. They keep on changing and either low or high, affecting consumers, affecting farmers on different aspects, and that is another leading to, or as a result of responding to, the surplus
Mm.
in Tanzania normally happens, but it's a challenge to farmers. And low productivity is also a challenge to farmers. For surplus, farmers face low prices. The storage capacity of actors is low. The inability to store, to accommodate that surplus is still a challenge. But also during the crisis like low productivity, then we also face some challenges. For example, the government interventions on export bans or duty-free imports, which normally destabilizes the farmers' prices, uh, which is a problem. And then we have another challenge of Tanzania rice not meeting national, regional, and international standards. Grade one, grade two rice. Majority of the rice, because of the mixing of varieties at milling, at harvesting, then we find a lot of a lot of challenges to meet the international standards. And then we have the low milling technology being employed by majority of the millers. Since we don't have the central milling system, then the proliferations of the millers in different parts in the country, of course, is making it difficult. Majority are using raw technology in milling that is making difficult to attain good grades of rice. Then we have the fragmentation of value chain. Farmers are not connected to farmers organizations. There are no cooperatives to organize farmers for backward and forward linkages, which is making life very difficult at times. And then rice is both cash and food crop.
Mm.
So that is making life difficult when it comes to market interventions. Then you have to be very cautious because farmers are growing rice for their own consumption as well as for the market. So in between, it's difficult to draw a good line to 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 make rice value chain development a challenge. However, commercial farming is picking up, though in small portion. Now, what are we doing? We, as Rice Council of Tanzania, we are trying to, we are working towards solving some of the challenges that are directly impacting farmers. We are conducting advocacy and dialogue to make sure that we have conducive rice business environment in the country for all aspects, for rice and for inputs as well as for agro machineries. And then we are conducting research to identify some challenges or the root cause of various challenges. And then we are also conducting capacity building of value chain actors on different aspects, including milling, good agricultural practices, good milling practices, and many other aspects. But also we are conducting the business meetings to make sure that farmers get the right technology, get the right financing, and get the markets from different different areas. Uh, as I said in the previous question, that the value chain actors are fragmented and it's private sector led. There is no coordination. Of course, so Rice Council of Tanzania is here to coordinate the private sector together, at least to come up with the common voice, to come up with the common strategy, to come up with the common goals of the private sector rice value chain actors in the country. And then we are the private sector. We have to link with the government in different aspects in order to come up with good PPP, public-private partnerships. So Rice Council of Tanzania is the anchor on that particular aspect to make sure that we are well linked with the government so that we can speak the same language when it comes to rice value chain development.
That's really wonderful and interesting, Geoffrey. You really highlighted how the rice sector in Tanzania has been evolving. So, Geoffrey, what opportunities do you see for investment, innovation, and value addition in Tanzania's rice sector, particularly for both local and international stakeholders?
Yes, of course, we are having several opportunities ahead of us. One is the international market. The surplus we are producing currently, we are struggling to sell it outside the East African community because of the standards. If we can do away of the impediments in the milling technology, in the harvesting technology, in the production technologies, and the issues in the seeds, definitely we have the good light ahead of us. This can be done if there is good connection between the technology producers, technology manufacturers, and technology developers to connect well with the rice sector. Also, the technology experts to know exactly how, where are we, what part of technology we are missing. That can help us to bridge up that gap, which is currently facing the rice sector. So we are very optimistic that once the technology developers know exactly what the sector wants, and they also the actors on the ground know who produce which technology, and in that way, then we are seeing the light. We are seeing that the sector could benefit from such engagements so that we can through the connection of value chain actors from abroad to Tanzania, definitely there will be learning on both sides. The technology developer will know exactly what Tanzania rice value chain needs, as well as the Tanzanian value chain actors know who produces which technology that is required to improve. For example, currently we are looking at the color sorters as machines, not the big one, because of the nature of the milling technology. Yes, we also need good technology on the land leveling, the land leveling machines. Yes, we know there are big lasers, but what about small lasers? Because farmers need small technology, small milling small machines for leveling land. If we can get good connection with such services, definitely we will be able to move on. But the connection to the international market, I understand. For example, Alibaba is doing well, but we are not connected. If we can get good connection to such platforms, then definitely rice trading is is important. And we are good consumers of rice. When when production is low, then who will supply rice in Tanzania? If there is good connection, then that can be done easily, and from there, of course, then we can have a way forward and a good looking through the such such events that's going to happen in Tanzania.
Yes. Wonderful, Geoffrey. You said about connection, right? So, for my last question, how platforms like 10th Africa Expo 2026 is fostering collaboration, attracting investment, accelerating the growth of Tanzania's rice industry?
Yeah, what we are seeing definitely is the matching. I understand during the preparations, value chain actors, service providers across the world uh, will join in order to show as a showcase of what they are having for the rice sector development. But on the other side, definitely we have value chain actors who are struggling with various challenges. Now, through meeting on such event, definitely we are pretty sure that there will be a good connection between what
Yes,
we want and what's available in the market.
that's absolutely correct. Yes.
Yes.
So, Geoffrey, thank you so much for your valuable insight and perspective. Your answer really highlighted the direction in which Tanzania's rice sector is moving. And it was really a pleasure speaking with you, learning and knowing so much about Tanzania's rice sector. Thank you so much for all your answers today. I genuinely really enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed too.
Yes, indeed. It was a pleasure talking to you, and
Mm.
it was such a good conversation. I
Yes,
like it.
and we are absolutely looking forward meeting you at the event that is going to happen on the 2nd and 3rd of September in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Yes, you are most welcome for that, and we are prepared to be part and parcel of the event.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Great.
Yes,
So thank you so much, Geoffrey.
thank you, thank you. Have a good day.
You too have a good day. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for your time.